there were some real men around here, you know?
Oh, you read my mind, girlfriend. I would kill for a real man.
My child.
Huh?
Boy! Today, my friends. Today we will be talking about the one and only legend, Christopher Columbus. Mispronunciation. Pronunciation. Christopher Nolan is who we're gonna be talking about. The man behind the. Are you kidding me, bro? The man behind Batman. The man behind Interstellar.
Inception. Dunkirk.
Bro, that's we'll get into it. You know, there's a lot to say about Christopher Nolan because he is the GOAT of directors. He's the GOAT of the film industry in general. This guy brings he brings it 100% every single time. There's not a single movie this guy comes out with that's like even subpar. Every single movie. If that dude's name is on a production, you know right off the bat, like, oh, this is gonna be a good movie. Like,
we are going to be talking about how and why Christopher Nolan is widely regarded as a great director.
that was a big word for you, Ayaan. Bro said widely regarded as the best director.
Second thing we're going to be talking about with me. Why the Batman movies are often considered one of the best superhero movies ever made.
They are the best superhero movies ever made.
Shut up. This is my talking, boy.
My bad.
Go ahead, Fizz.
Yeah,
you better. This is what we're going to talk about, boy. I'm talking about my.
With Christopher Nolan in general, not only is he a great director, Ayaan already touched on this. You have other production companies like Marvel Studios, for example, where they'll have just everything is done in post-production. Sometimes it looks like they'll just grab like a standard camera and just shoot something, and then everything is done in post-production. They'll just have Robert Downey Jr. wearing like a trash bag that's like green or something, and then just put a green screen behind him, and then they'll like add in through CGI, they'll put an Iron Man costume on him. Versus freaking Christopher Nolan, this dude's out here growing giant cornfields for one scene in the movie where they can just run over it, right? In Interstellar, he just drives through a cornfield, and that dude actually went through learned how to farm just for one scene. The amount of dedication you have to do that. Who does that, right? Dark Knight. Yeah. I would understand if this was like the biggest scene, like the climax of the movie, where you have to go the biggest thing possible, and he did something. I would understand that, but no, a random scene in the movie. This dude flips a truck in the middle of Chicago. He actually did this. There's a scene in Dark Knight where there's an entire truck that just flips 180.
Oh, when Joker was in it, and then that one.
Like, bro, he actually did that. That wasn't no special effects. That wasn't CGI. He took a truck and flipped it for just some random scene in the movie. That's true dedication to his commitment and as a filmmaker. And then, going back to the same topic that he brings the A game every single time. It's not just him. He's the best director there is. It only makes sense that this dude only rolls with the best in each industry. He has the best actors. He brings the A game every single time in his cast, right? And then for sound design, this dude, every single movie has Hans Zimmer on the soundtrack, right? It makes that as the best director, he only works with the best of each other industries. He has the best actors, the best sound. Yeah.
I think that's just like a good trait that he has as well, too. You know, he actually makes his audience think about what they're watching and not just like as entertainment, not like a casual like a moviegoer is just gonna like
Yeah. You don't just go to the theater to hang out with your buddies and watch a Christopher Nolan movie. When you watch a Christopher Nolan, you show up to that movie with eyeglasses and a freaking notebook and pen to like take notes. Like you're watching a Christopher Nolan movie, you gotta strap in and be like, all right, I'm about to witness some crazy shit right here.
exactly, man. Like it's just cliched as it sounds, it's a work of art for sure.
Christopher Nolan's Batman movies, particularly The Dark Knight, are known for their realistic portrayal of Gotham City and the characters that are in it. The films ground Batman in a realistic world, which makes the story and characters more relatable and believable. Another thing is, again, the strong storytelling. Nolan is a master of storytelling, and his Batman movies are no exception to that. He weaves complex plots and characters arcs throughout the films, creating a deep and engaging story that keeps audiences on the edge. Batman. Every time you hear that theme song, that whenever Batman pulls up, like you're just like you got the chills going on, you know.
In my 20 or 19 years, I should say, of knowing Ayaan, I've never heard him use that many big words in such a short amount of time. That's insane. Anyways, each villain was made in a realistic and grounded way, something that could exist in today's world and today's society. And I thought that was really interesting because it's true. When you look at Scarecrow, he's a person who's obsessed with the concept of fear and what makes people scary, or what makes people scared, rather. Sorry. And that's a really interesting concept, that a person who is put in all this time and effort into, the concept of fear, what makes people scared, what fear is in the first place, and he uses this to manipulate people and use things to his advantage, which is really creepy in a way. He's like this person could be a real psychopath that's just has an unhealthy obsession with the concept of fear. Joker is someone who lives outside societal constructs. He thinks everything is a societal construct. Everything people do is just the rules we make are just completely based off something someone else no smarter than you came up with, right? Which makes him a very dangerous person. When you have somebody who lives by no rules, by no structure, you have a very dangerous man, right?
So I wanted to go into a little in depth about Dunkirk, and because that's like one of the good movies that I can probably like make a good analysis out of. And just to give a little summary about what Dunkirk was about, it's a war film that he made. It was during World War II. There's no origin story to the characters, and we don't even know their names either. It just starts right off the bat. The opening scene is just a group of soldiers, they're walking the streets of France. It sets the tone of the movie so well. So he has three parts. So he has the mole, so like that's the people stranded on land, and then he has a section called the sea. So that part of the perspective is the people on boats and people kind of stranded on sea. And then he has the section called the air. So that's the perspectives of the people in planes that are trying to help out, trying to defend whatever they can. So all perspectives are being shown at the same moment in time. And it's just very different from any other war film that's portrayed like that.
Bro, I gotta watch this movie now. Damn.
The film is central about survival. Each perspective is showing how helpless and dire the situation was. Each character is trying to get out of there as fast as they can, whatever they can do.
You know what's cool about that?
That's
It goes towards what's his name? Christopher Nolan's storytelling. This movie seems like so complex. Like it's a story, but within the story there's multiple other stories.
Yeah. Overall, that movie's a great war film. It's a very different war film from anything else, from any other war film that's been made. I think what makes it special for me is the different perspectives that Christopher Nolan shows. We have the air, which is the Air Force, the sea, people on the boats, and the mole. So that's like people on the land close to the beaches. And overall, it's like a great film that shows when humanity comes together, a lot of things can be accomplished.
Put it backward.